Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I bring you a video reviewing the gouache pad and HIMI Gouache paint set from MIYA. As soon as I saw this gouache set, I fell in love and was so excited to be able to try it and also to do this video for you. Since ever I love gouache and watercolor, but I am so perfectionist that I never tried enough times to actually get better, but I still love to try every once in a while, and this time was the perfect time to do it because I was very excited. MIYA brand sent me the gouache pad, the HIMI Gouache set, but also the watercolor brushes set that look very professional, and the brush itself has a very good quality just by the looks. The gouache pad was a nice touch for this review because I can use everything together. I also recommend to use gouache paper or watercolor for this kind of mediums because it will always impact the end result. At this point, I was really excited to unbox the gouache set. I loved the color of the package and also the fact the materials are non-toxic, have bright colors, quick drying, and have a silky and smooth texture. I saw many videos about it and I was really excited to try it. Everything was well packed. The set comes with the board to mix colors and the color chart to see the colors that come inside. This chart for me is not very accurate because the colors are never the same as printed on the paper, and there's nothing better than doing your own chart and see how they look in reality. In this case, I didn't find it required for me to do it, and you will see why. After opening all the little contents, you can see how beautiful and intense the colors are, and you can tell they will look exactly like that on paper. While opening all the little ink containers, I struggled a lot. I ended up not feeling my fingertips by the end of how well it was packed, but every time I opened one, I was even more excited to use it and see all the colors displayed on the box. Something that I learned over time, and that might help for gouache and watercolor artists or even acrylic painters, if you don't want the colors to dry after using it, you can use masking film on top of it. That will allow the ink to stay humid and not dry as easy as not covering it up. But probably these paints, if they dry, you can just add a bit of water and work with it again. I didn't have this happening with me since it didn't pass that much time, but I got this tip from painters of miniatures, and lately I crossed by a video saying this kind of ink can dry, so I just remembered to share it with you. Here you can see all the containers opened and also the color sheet I just showed you in the beginning, and you can actually tell that the colors are much more vibrant than on the paper, just like I said in the beginning. Do you also like to see all the colors displayed like this? Even if it's acrylic or colored pencils or watercolors, I just love to see it. For this review, I wanted to have the gouache washed effect, and the best character I found to do it was Vi from Arcane, when she is on her emo phase. If you haven't seen this show yet, I do not want to spoil you, but she looks amazingly cool and I love the colors on her. I just wanted to portrait that, and will I be able to do it just like I imagine? We'll see. After having the sketch done, I decided to color her differently of what I usually do. I ended up coloring black and white first and then adding the colors. Like I said, I am not confident enough with my skills on gouache, so I prefer to build up the coloring little by little to not do a big mistake. I can actually say that the motto of trusting the process was not present in this review at all. I tried to be cautious and not ruin everything, and also not ruin my excitement over these amazing materials. With the shadows and lights set, it was a bit easier to add color. Something that I also struggle with gouache is the drying process, as I am very impatient. So I just remembered to use my blow dryer and I could continue coloring. I am very used to color hours and hours, and gouache and watercolor always have a problem for me because I have to wait for it to dry between phases, and usually I just keep adding colors while I should just let it dry. End up ruining everything and the coloring, and then I get pretty sad. But not this time. When I was comfortable with how everything looked, I decided to make the colors more saturated, like you can see on her hair. I loved the brushes sent for this review, and I just used 2 of them, especially the biggest one of the set on the majority of the illustration. It was pretty amazing how the strokes could go so thin on certain places in my drawing, and that is something I really wanted to achieve. Continuing building the hair and having the reddish tone, I colored with a darker color, and it was so much fun. At this time I was a bit more confident of how this drawing would come out, and I was enjoying it a lot. After I decided to do her wash on her skin, and then also constructing a bit more of the background with darker colors, like she was in a darker place. So I would just color to make the character be in that kind of background. While coloring, I noticed the paper would wrinkle with the amount of water I used, but I found out that while drawing I just had to press my hand on it to make it smooth and less wrinkled. So win-win! I didn't have to wait much, but also could make the paper smoother. After building the colors on each step, the image came out exactly like I wanted, and I was so happy with it. These colors really work amazing, and I loved how saturated the colors would get over time. I especially loved how the brushes were also so nice to use and how detailed they could be, having always the shape on point. This might be one of the best brushes, if not the best, I have ever used, so if you are looking for this kind of brushes, you will not regret it. After everything dried and happy with the result, I just finalized with some fine liner and a bit of white for the highlights, and it's finished. At the end, I was very proud of myself, and I hope you enjoyed this process as much as me. This gouache set and the brush set made me realize I just need a bit more patience and time to get better in this medium. But I have to be honest, I was very inspired by these materials as soon as I saw it, and then all the videos I saw of other artists using it. If you have the same problem as me, do not give up. And yes, sometimes the materials can help you try to be better because they inspire you to get better. I want to thank MIYA for this amazing collab and a big shout out for these amazing materials. If you want to see exactly which ones I got, you can check the links below. I am pretty sure you will not regret it, and I hope my video can inspire you to try them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye bye!